back at it. The Formula Podcast. It's your boy Gary and
RJD.
And we coming at you with another piece of the formula. Today, we just want to get into it, jump right in.
Yes, sir.
Business owners, man, we go through a lot of different struggles, mentally, emotionally, financially, but all that put together, while we going through all these different things, is to be more competitive. So today's thing is about the formula to competition. What is competition? You know, and RJ, you could chime in, but my definition of competition is when there's a limited amount of resources and everybody believes there's a limited amount of resources, so they work against each other or sometimes with each other to get those resources. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I definitely, man. It's a certain mindset of feeling like it's not enough, you know, and that's why you're gonna compete. But you always want to have some kind of competitive edge, even when you're playing sports or anything like that. But in business in general, you want to improve your service, you want to improve your products. So it's competitive. But as far as like competition and trying to, you know, like go after the same clients, I don't necessarily see it like that. As far as like it's a limited amount of resources and people you could help. But I do understand when I see another video production company or videographer, I understand when they see me and they're like, oh, that's competition.
That's facts. That's facts, man. Like the whole point of competition, we're supposed to like provide a better service, provide a better product, like you were saying, so people come to us. Right, and we know that resource for most times with competition, that resource in business is money, and that's why we do it, you know. And but there's no limited amount of money, you know what I'm saying, in any economy. You could be in Montana, you could be in Miami, you could be in New York, you could be in Austin, wherever. You could be around the world, in Brazil, whatever. There's places where there's a how would we say, like a low level amount of resources, but there's still always somebody eating. It's still like every country, there's still in a class of people making money, making moves, and doing different things. So it's out there. It's all about that access as well.
Yeah, 100%. And even how you spoke about the different countries, you know, I'm Jamaican, so you know, we always talk about going back to Jamaica, doing things in Jamaica, and how hard it is, and this, that, and the third. I want to break that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's unlimited resources. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's unlimited resources. I like to put it like this. If you have access to Wi-Fi and to a laptop, that's all you need to start working and start bringing in clients, and start adding value to someone. And especially if it's a problem you can solve. It's something where it's like, okay, it's a void where it's like, I could help somebody. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's where it starts. Like figuring out how you can help people online. It's always ways you could do that. But competition, like in the sense, like I feel like competition when it came to sports is very helpful, but when it came to business, competition wasn't necessarily best for me. I could say competition will be a great foundation to do some market research to find out what people are doing, what price points they're doing their services at. You know, you might want to start lower, or you might want to keep at that certain price point. Yeah. Me, I like to keep the standard. Yeah. Because you lower the price, you lower the market. Right.
That's facts.
You might say, "Hey, I'm getting more clients this way. I'll be able to underbid what people are doing." Yeah. But what you do is you're doing a disservice to your industry, and it doesn't allow you enough resources to be able to do the job well.
100%.
So that's a reason why they have a standard. So that's why I would look at competition in the sense of like as research, as market research. What are they doing? What's the standards? What's the branding standards? What are they doing? And then from there, how can I separate myself and make myself my own? So I don't necessarily, when it comes to competition, I look at it at market research value. You know, it's nothing more than that. I don't see them as my competition. Yeah. For say, right? Yeah. I just see them as partners in my industry, people that's in that industry that's doing a certain thing They kept a certain standard, and that's where I'm studying to make sure that when I step out and I'm in this industry, that I'm keeping that standard. I'm keeping the level of quality and service and communication all the way through from beginning to end.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been in situations where people look at other videographers and other photographers as competition. For me, whenever I see any videographer, anybody that's doing the same thing I'm doing, or anything, whether it's like social media, copywriting, whatever that's affiliated with what we're doing, I see that as an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, I see that as an opportunity for a strategic partnership.
Yeah.
Right? Because I do video photography, I do all of that. But now I meet you at an event and you do social media. That's a strategic partnership we can start building.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you do the same exact thing, I've done this many of times where it's like, hey, I do video, you do video. Let's follow each other on Instagram. Let's build a relationship. Let's build a strategic partnership. Because there's gonna be a day where you wanna go on vacation.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna be in town.
Yeah.
But you still got these clients you got to take care of, right? So while you out there on vacation, now you know you built a relationship with another videographer that you could trust. You know what I mean? You built a strategic partnership.
Yeah.
So now when you're on vacation, your clients are still taken care of. But if it was a viewpoint where it's like, okay, that's my competition, I can't connect with them, da, 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 da. Now you're limiting yourself and your resources to be able to expand. What you think about that?
No, that's real. That's real. It's the same thing. I mean, the way I visualize business, I do views of like hunting, a lot of times fishing as well. Like you were saying, you lower your prices, you catch a whole bunch of little fish, but you want to catch those whales. You know what I'm saying? This competition, there's only so many amount of whales. At least we believe there's only so amount of whales out there. And that's why we do what we do when we move the way that we move. And in your industry as well is highly competitive, especially in today's world of social media and different designs and websites and marketing. It's just extremely competitive. And your approach, you know, is in a way where you're saying you make your competition your partners and your strategic partnerships and y'all working together, and that's amazing. And just pulling more into my world as well. The whole setup is adversarial. The whole setup is competitive. I walk into a courtroom, me and my clients go left, the other people go right. You know what I'm saying? When it's their turn to speak, I make an argument. We talking about the same thing. They on this side, we on this side. That piece of paper says A Incorporated versus B Incorporated. You know what I'm saying? So it's already a competition mindset. And we do carry that as attorneys in a lot of different spaces. You know, even just a small anecdote for myself, starting my law firm right out of law school, going to different bar association events and things, and receiving that competitive environment. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of I was young, just started my firm, you know, just trying to figure those things out as stacked up to more established firms, more established attorneys, and them, you know, communicating or treating me in that way. You know, until I realized like they're not really, there's competition, but at the same time I can't engage into that back and forth with them. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm not even focused on catching the fish. I'm not even focused on getting the whales. You know what I'm saying? So I really just focus on what am I trying to get after? You know, and then over time, I started to realize too, like how you're saying, those partnerships. You know, so I don't connect too much with people who do what I do as far as being a corporate attorney. So I do know some corporate attorneys who have some good relationships. But I do seek out relationships with people who don't do what I do. And that's where the partnerships come in from myself. People come to me like, oh, you're a lawyer, get me out of prison. I don't do that. You know, but I know people who do that, you know what I'm saying? So I send them clients, and on the back end, people who talk about business and they don't do that, they send that to me. You know what I'm saying? So we can make that type of collaborative effort, you know, in that way. But just on that competitive mindset, you're talking about like sports too. You know, a lot of us in South Florida, a lot of grew up playing sports, whether it be football, track, basketball, a lot of baseball down here, swimming, you name it. It's always competition. We carry that in our lives as well as athletes and former athletes. And you can't necessarily hold on to that, you know, as you're conducting business, because you're going to be so caught up in competing that you're never going to be competitive. You know, if that made any sense, you know what I'm saying? Because to be competitive means that a client can look at you, they can look at me, they can look at person A, B, C, whatever, and they could decide what service or person they want to go with. That's competitive. When you're in this competition mindset, it's like a tit for tat. You know, nobody wins in that game. You know what I'm saying? You spending your resources, spending your to keep up or to put down somebody else. Y'all could be working together, or even at minimum working within yourself to make those types of moves. You know, so competition is, I think it's a good thing, but when you engage it into it to the detriment of somebody else, or to put somebody else down and lift yourself up, I think that's when it gets kind of shiesty, and it's easy to fall into that.
Yeah, 100%. And like how you said, like you build those relationships with other people outside of your industry. Why? Because if somebody comes to you and asks you a question, I know somebody that's really good at
Got a guy for that.
Yeah, that's a great level of like value that you could bring to them. So like they're like, hey, this guy. So even if you didn't provide a service directly with them, I was able to connect the dot for you, and this guy was able to help you. So now you talking about me now. You're like, oh, Gary, he connected me with this person. He did a great job. Now they shining on me because of the great job this person I connect you with. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm big on that because. Now, one of my mentors, he told me about this thing called third-party marketing, right? And that's when a third party that you don't know nothing about is talking good about you. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I know a lot of people think about that in the sense of like online marketing, but my networking building, it starts from in-person type of thing and helping people and connecting dots. And that's a way that you could then build a network of third-party marketers, people that's on your behalf, talking about you, pitching your business, and it's not taking any of your time. You're not doing anything. All you did was help people out. You know what I mean? Connect a couple of dots, and that alone, bro, is like so. It's like a compound effect. Oh yeah. You know that'll build over time, and just by doing that alone, with no internet, because they got people, old school people, they still crushing the game because of those relationships. They cherish those relationships and they helping people. So no matter what, it's always things coming into them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's one of the most powerful things to do. Is to build those connections, and
I think
it's tough.
It's definitely real, especially like, let's say in today's economy, everybody's being a lot more smarter with their dollar. You know, so if you're going to somebody for professional services, marketing, accounting, legal, whatever it is, fixing your roof, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're paying and you're gonna get something of value out of it. So when so like for yourself, I go to RJ, I know you, you know what I'm saying? I know you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
As the homie and everything. So like you telling me that you had an experience with this person, I'm valuing our relationship. And I'm trusting that to develop another relationship with somebody else. So that is ultimate. I think that's ultimate. Social media is great. Content is great. Websites are great. Great add-ons and everything. But when somebody says, like, this food tastes good, and this is my cousin, and I know my cousin loves food, and I'm going to go there. You know what I'm saying? This person does good work. I've done work with this person. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make it happen. And that's a whole nother level of competition. That's some things you can't even, like, recreate. There's no amount of anything else that's going to replicate an in-person type of experience in that way, you know.
And then before you go off, I want to kind of like talk about something that made me build everything and like the atmosphere and what do they say, company culture, the culture, or the vibe, right? I built a certain vibe based off of my experience.
Okay, drop it to us.
So when I was traveling all over doing photography, video. I moved back to Florida, and I wanted to do event photography, and I've always been collaborative with other photographers. So I went to an event on the red carpet. I'm doing my thing, taking pictures, and I seen another photographer there, and his talk game was immaculate. Like he was just hyping the people. Hold on, let me. On the red carpet is there's a lot of photographers there. So he was just like talking all the right stuff to make them smile, make them get the reactions that you want when you're taking your pictures too. And then the craziest thing about it, he looked at me, he was like, hey bro, my camera's not even working. You can send me a couple of flicks like afterwards. Like my camera stopped working. But he was still going and hyping them up and acting like he's taking pictures and everything. They would have never known that his camera wasn't working. And I was like, okay, cool, for sure. I was like, hey, I want to work with you. I want you to be my mentor. I just moved back down here from New York. I'm building my brand, and we started working together. But I could see he had a sense of competition. He kind of seen me as his competition rather than his ally. I could have been a great ally for him because I would have been a great member. I would have been able to cover events while he's somewhere else. We would have covered 2 events, things like that. But he's seen it like, and the reason why I could say he's seen it like this is because he wasn't willing to teach me certain things. You know, when I asked him certain questions, how did you get your picture to look like this? He wouldn't go in that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or he wouldn't trust me with certain responsibilities. If I'm supposed to be covering a certain area to do certain things, he'll then circle back and cover the area. And it's like, okay, then my job is pointless. You know what I mean? So am I supposed to be printing out pictures? I'm a photographer. You can get an assistant to print out pictures. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, cool. So it's established that he sees me as a he don't have to say it, but it's a vibe. So I said, okay, going forward, I want to build a vibe or a company culture where we encourage people to learn. We encourage people to master their art. We allow them to never feel a level of competition or that we're holding them back because we don't want them to become better than us. Right? And that became like a company culture of like loyalty, of love, trust, real genuine connections, because now they see over time, because of course the first couple of times without how we was raised in Florida, Jamaica, in the hub, whatever, where it's like we don't really trust people like that. You feel what I'm saying? So if a guy come up to you and say, hey bro, you really good at photography, I can teach you some of this. Matter of fact, practice with this camera. And then when you take pictures, let's go on Zoom and let's critique. And let's see what you've been doing. Matter of fact, I got an event next week. You can walk with me and, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Let's get involved. Let's collaborate. Let's grow together. Automatically people gonna have their guards up a lot of times.
100%.
But I feel like that experience help us build a certain level of like, okay, I don't want to ever feel like that. And how do I want to feel? And that feeling of how I want to feel encouraged, you know, like you can show me some things, teach me some things, the collaboration, the communication type of thing. Like, don't just call me for events. Like, let's have a monthly call. Let's meet up in person. Let's vibe. Like, I know we got a lot of work to do, but let's link up and chill and dream for a little bit. You know, like, I don't want it to just be work. So that's another thing that I was like, okay, it can't be just work. Got to be loyalty, no competition. We're here to 100% support you. We're going to give you good ground that when you go to these events, you have all the information. Like, we're going to support you.
Kick it, have a drink, start a podcast together, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
You know, and it's, as you're talking, it really made me like think. A lot of times this competition is gatekeeping, right? So like to be competitive, what do you need? I need information. How do I do this? I need access to different circles. Who do I talk to? What do I access to resources? What do I need? You know, so when you're in that competitive mindset, you're trying to close people out, and then dealing with those types of people, it's discouraging as an entrepreneur. I'm starting my law firm. I got my suit X, Y, and Z. Boom, I got my little degree in the background. Now what? How do I get a client? I don't know. I got to go figure it out. Nobody's going out there and just tell me because people are gatekeeping. You know, so there's going to be some things that you really do have to figure out to have a baseline, but there's some things people can pull you up from. But I am seeing across a lot of industries, you know what I'm saying, as competitive as it is, and we talk about, I use economics a lot because like it's hard out here. People really trying to make money. Groceries cost $1 million, and then you pay all this money and only half your cart is full. You get home, you carry your bags, everything light, you know what I'm saying, and rent going hit, and then everything, it just all happening at once. So at the same time, if you own your own business, you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to make your money stretch, and you're trying to make more money. And the mindset behind that is if you're making more money, now I'm making less money. Right? We're breaking that down. That's not true. That just isn't true. You know what I'm saying? No, gatekeep. That's even the point of this podcast. You know, the formula. Breaking down the formula to success, business, and all these different things. And there's no gatekeeping on this side. Because we know it's unlimited amount of resources. There's millionaires being made every day. There's people losing millions of dollars every day. There's an ebb and flow of money, and it's about really getting into it for your business, perfecting your craft, learning information, sharing information in any platform. and getting after it, you know. But when you're in that competitive mindset where you're from a place, even for myself, my people from Haiti, from a place where there's a lack, a dearth of resources, you know what I'm saying? But even within that, you around some Haitian people, we a community. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna share. Even like soup jumu. I don't know if y'all know that pumpkin soup.
Come on.
Like we just got free. The pumpkin was mostly reserved for the slave owners and stuff. So we run it now, so we can eat pumpkin now. You put potatoes in the pot. You put spinach in the pot. Oh, you got carrots. You put. And we made a stew. You know what I'm saying? That's community. And as entrepreneurs, we have to have that community. We have to share. There has to be an exchange of information. There has to be that type of support. There can't be no gatekeeping, and all that will make us more competitive as a unit, as a team, as a group, as a community to go get what we really want. Because you really can't do this journey like by yourself. No, you just really can't. You're gonna burn yourself out real quick.
Yeah, that's them partnerships. And those partnerships, I feel like one of the main things I really love about the partnerships and the people I was able to connect with and the people that's like our team is the fearlessness. Like that level of fearlessness, just being fearless and being like, hey, you need help, I got you. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. I'm like, dang, you gonna help me for real? My first time experiencing that. So I told you about that first experience with the first photographer, right? Yeah. Now I left my job and I'm like, I'm doing this full time, right? So I literally, little plug, Urban League. Went to the Urban League. That was my first stop. Yeah. I was like, okay, let me go up in this Urban League. And then as I'm there waiting in the network, I wasn't really networking. Yeah. I was more just paying. I like to see who I need to connect with. I don't like to network and talk to 20 people. Yeah. I like to network and talk to 3 to 4 people tops. Yeah. Right? So I was paying attention to see who should I be speaking to, seeing who I should be connecting to. I was doing a little, you know what I mean? Listening, different conversations to see who I need to actually talk to. You know what I mean? I wasn't in the conversation, but I was airdropping a little.
See what's up.
Yeah. And then I seen David Muir walk into the facility and he had his camera bag and everything like that. And I'm like, yo, that's that Jamaican photographer. I know about him. My mentor was telling me about him. My other, I know 2 or 3 older Jamaican dudes that are yo, you should connect with David. He's a big photographer, this and third. Yeah. My first time seeing him in person, I'm like, yo, this is my opportunity. I had to figure out how I was gonna introduce myself, all that. Long story short, I introduced myself. I said, hey man, I want to connect with you. I'll help you with anything, carry your bag, do whatever. Matter of fact, I got a photo booth. If you need help with a photo booth, you can add that to your services. And then speaking about the photo booth, I got an event next week. I need insurance. You think you can help me out or connect me with somebody that can help me? He's like, yeah, man. What do you mean? Give me your number.
Let's go. Yeah.
He didn't give her number this her card or da-da-da. He yo, okay, give me your number right now. Yeah. He took down my number. And he texted me.
That's facts.
The lady's number. I was like, yo, now I could stay in communication with him. I got to build trust with him. So what I did was I didn't want to bug him, but I would text him every 2 weeks. Yeah. Hey, what's up? Need help with anything? Yeah. Hey, what's up? Need help with anything? Yeah. And eventually he threw me a bone. And then we started building that relationship. That relationship then turned into what he was what we was doing with his company. He was like 1/3 of our annually income was coming from working with him. And that was just one partnership.
Added value to
fresh out of, first, you know what I mean? Full time I'm doing this.
Yeah.
That's 2017.
Yeah.
So all the way, you know what I mean? Yeah. To now, it's that was one partnership. If he would have seen me as competition, I wouldn't have been able to add value to his business. And I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he gave us a spirit. Yeah. And that spirit, okay, the first one gave me a spirit I don't want that vibe. Yeah. The next one, he gave us a spirit of fearlessness. Yeah. Helping others. Yeah. Building. Yeah. Really being real. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was something I wanted to make sure we magnified and make sure that's part of our community.
I'll be 1,000 with you right now. I had the opposite.
Oh, word?
I was the opposite, boy. I used to drive I still do it now. When I'm going to court, I'm blasting Yak, Kodak. I'm blasting Young Dolph, Gucci. I'm like, man, we finna, I'm in my very adversarial mind. I'm gonna win today.
Yeah.
And I'm undefeated at trial. I just want to put that out there. But I'm gonna get it. And it's been that mindset. And then one day, a client called me, had a situation with his business, boom, 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 investors, X, Y, and Z. Can't get too deep into it. But then I go against this attorney, already on that mindset. When we talking that first initial phone call, I'm like, man, this is going on. He's like, no, we're not gonna sell. All right, you don't gotta sell. I'll see you in court. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I live here. So I'm in that mindset. We go to court, boom, boom, boom. Situation turns out gratefully fortunate for my client, but it was just a very competitive, very adversarial conversation before the court, during the court, and afterwards. I was just kind of at odds with this dude, and then I started seeing him around. And this dude is connected to you're going to start to see who I'm talking about. This dude connected to everybody. Mm-hmm. Him and his wife, going everywhere together all the time. We just always had this little tension, between us. But the whole time, the more time I'm around him, the more time I talk to him, he developed into a mentor. Mm-hmm. Developed into somebody who showed me more about business, showed me a lot more about networking and building relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I was in that mindset, just off the fact of how I started off in my career, where I come from, the type of mentality I had growing up as far as engaging in athletics, the neighborhoods I grew up in and associated with, things that along those lines. And you really have to let those things go, because it's so much of a culture. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about get the bag and all these different things, these little ad-libs, little this and that. And those things fuel, even in our songs, they fuel so much that competitive spirit, that drive, which is great. But when it comes down to it, we can be competitive but not be in a competition mindset. Mm-hmm. There's enough out here. There's more than enough out here for everybody. Yeah. Because if there wasn't, we always stop working. Because that would mean we can't get no more. Yeah. Because if you think you a big dog, there's a big dog on top of dog on top of that dog. You know what I'm saying? You can make however much you want in the legal industry. I can name one name, Stephen Ross. He got owner of the Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least last time I checked, at least $12 billion up. Mm-hmm. So unless you that type of, you know what I'm saying, you're not there yet. So there's always more to do this, and even with him, there's more that he's getting and things that he's doing. But there's always somebody here making more, doing more. But that does not mean that you're making less because of them. It's unlimited. Whatever you need in this life, you can get. Whatever that you feel that you're lacking, you can always get and generate. And you can get that to even higher level when you collaborate. Mm-hmm. That means taking down that ego, taking down that competition mindset, taking down that I got to pull him down and lift myself up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Taking down that gatekeeping. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hold all the information. I'm not going to start that podcast. I'm not going to post that post. Yeah. I ain't going to tell these people how to move. Yeah. I figured out this business thing, so I'm just going to keep it all to myself. You know what I'm saying? The whole time you blocking your blessing. You blocking your growth because you're holding on to those things. Gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping. And that's a real thing. That gatekeeping thing is a very much real thing. But the thing about gatekeeping, remember I told you about those two photographers? Yeah. The first photographer that was gatekeeping didn't want to teach me and show me how to use the camera, and I had to figure it out myself.
Oh, man.
Now, I seen him about 3 months ago. When I went down in Miami, we was at the Bright Line, me and my girl, we just spending the day out there, walking around. And then, who did I see? Still hustling, still talking, still taking pictures. Just him.
Yeah.
And then if you look at my mentor, David, he just opened a new museum, Island Space Museum. His business, Island Syndicate's growing even more. I'm working with him this week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's still throwing connections to me. Yeah. I'm working with him this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His business is growing. Yeah. I'm sure he hit past 7 figures now. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm glad to be a part of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be a student. I'm glad to be even a product. Now we're building our own stuff. Now we're trying to be trying to build something as well. Yeah. But that's the two different things of a person that was competitive and a person that's seen an opportunity in partnerships by partnering with other creatives. it's two different lanes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
One guy is still in the field, just him. The other guy, he has a whole team.
Bro, that's you hitting on something like vibrations, bro. Because like you see some people who are engaging those negative, lower vibrations, they're gonna stay there. You're gonna stay there. You gonna 3 months later, or however long you saw them that first time, however many years in between that, so at the same spot, doing the same thing, no growth. Then somebody else who's always giving, thankful for what they have, putting you on to information, putting you on to opportunities. They're growing. You know, they're attracting those different things in your life. You know, and it's just really like breaking away from those things. And we don't realize a lot of us, we grow up with so many low vibrations, from our music to how we behave, to how we treat each other, to how we see ourselves, to how we see people who look like us. You know what I'm saying? In a variety of different contexts. You know, you really gotta break those things go if you want to grow in your business. If you can't hoard resources, you can't hoard information. You gotta get it go. And I do want to talk about. We talk about all the negative, stuff, right? How it looks like, my experience, your experience, and of course some positive from that mentorship where competition led us to some mentorship, which has been amazing in partnerships. I want to talk about the competition that we face every day. Every day when you wake up in the morning till you go to sleep at night, because the person you compete against don't leave you. I'm talking about when it's me versus me.
Oh man,
that competition. You know,
that's always fun.
Cause we
just talked about that before.
Yeah. Like when it's you versus you, the real you has to win. Yeah. Your higher self has to win most of the time. You know, so I can't say all the time we're not perfect. You know, but most of the time, because your business is only gonna go as far as you go. You know, so if you're not investing in your personal development, business development, knowledge, networking, what I'm looking for, relationships, and all the different things, then you're not gonna grow. And you always gotta be in competition with yourself, and that's the real competition. If you're not doing better than what you're doing yesterday or last year, last month, or the time frame may be, you gotta really take a step back and examine yourself. And that's what I'm talking about with competition, like how being in a competition mindset is not important. It's good to be competitive. Being in a competition mindset isn't constructive because you're so focused on everybody else all the time. This person do this, I gotta compete and get a bigger billboard. He got 5 billboards, I need 10 billboards. He got X amount of influence to work for me, I need X amount plus 1, you know, to work for me. You know, so that you're always focused on somebody else, you're being reactive as opposed to building within yourself. And like within yourself, you have your creativity, you have your ideas, you have your work ethic, you have your integrity, you have how you want to move, and nobody can replicate that. Nobody could copy that. But when you're in competition mindset, you're copying somebody else and is trying to one up them, right, all the time. You know, so when you're in that me versus me, that's unlimited. You know what I'm saying? Tap into yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's entrepreneurship at its finest. Most entrepreneurs, that's how you start. You tapped into yourself like, dang, I can do this. And you step out and do it. But I think a lot of times you get discouraged because you get to a point where you plateau. You know what the next thing is. But it ain't for you to look outside of yourself for the next. You got to look inside yourself to see what the next move is. Because I'm going to tell you 99.999% of the time, you already know what you're supposed to be doing.
That's 100%. That's 100%.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Oh yeah.
Hey, me versus me, man. I'm glad you brought that up, man. Because so we do workshops every week. We train.
When y'all do the workshops?
Oh, every Friday, man. Every Friday we have a workshop, a private workshop where it's videographers or agency owners. They come in, they join that workshop. We teach them different things. We also do like a weekly mastermind where we have accountability, kind of just make sure everybody's moving forward. So like with building and doing these workshops and working with these, so even my cousin reached out to me and he's like, he want to get into photography. So any photographer, any videographer, any person, video editors that want to start working with Content Factory, I build it from the very beginning on how me versus me works. Every single day. And that starts with time management. You feel what I'm saying? That starts with time management. It's like my equation is E plus E equal E. That's my time management equation where it's like, okay, I'm gonna spend an hour a day learning something. The rest of the day, I'm experimenting, putting in work, actually putting those stuff to, and that equals experience.
Okay.
So if I stay consistent, put in 8 hours of work every day,
like
learn once a day, that's 9 hours.
That sounds like a formula.
It's a formula. It's a formula, man. Right, you follow that, it's like, it's going to work. Because I've been doing this now for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And like when they see who I am now, it's like, I wish you would have seen who I was when I was 19. I wish you would have seen who I was at 18, because I don't even know. It was two different things. Like, it's two different worlds, two different mindsets, two different types of communications, two different types of dealing with problems and stress. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different types of things. And like, it always starts with, like, if you can't help yourself, you can't help no one else. So it's always going to start from personal development, having the discipline to manage your time, because everybody has 24 hours. So if I ask you, what did he do last week? How did you spend your time last week? You should be like, because if I was to ask Oprah that same exact question, she would be able to show me, oh, hey, I went to this charitable event. I gave away this amount of stuff on Wednesday. I did this, you know what I mean? I did my morning routine and my meditation. You know what I mean? They would have some type of details. A lot of times people, we don't have somewhere it's like, how did you spend your time? You know? And it's really, it comes down to time management and managing that calendar and doing the things that you don't want to do. Like this morning, I went for a run. This is my day 2. Day 2 of running.
Let's go.
I don't really need to lose no weight or nothing like that, but I'm trying to like set a new habit. It's me versus me. You know, I'm trying to, that's the starting point, and then that's going to lead into eating properly. That's going to lead to me drinking more water. That's going to lead to my skin being better and feeling better in my meetings and being able to encourage my team and have that energy. You can't give from an empty cup. So you got to fill yourself up with personal development and spending your time strategically. You know what I mean? Mapping out your time strategically. This podcast we do every Tuesday? It's on the calendar.
Pop up on my phone like yesterday, like, oh yeah, you know, I'm be there.
It sets your mind. It sets, okay, what I'm gonna be doing. It lowers the anxiety. So if like time management is like, okay, I have a morning block where I do 2-3 hours of some outreach. I got an evening block where I do 2-3 hours. I feel like time management is the me versus me. Like the E plus E equal E. You know what I mean? It's like, it all starts with like personal development and like really, it's hard, bro, because it's not like, it doesn't affect your business like directly in a sense. Because it's like you working out, going to the gym, it don't directly affect you. I mean, at least the income, but what it does affect is your performance when you're on the job. And then that's going to affect how the client's going to, either they're going to say yes or no, or it's going to perform your audience, it's going to perform your performance when you in that courtroom. Right? And that's what's going to, that's the main thing right there.
And it snowballs from there, but at the end of the day, it starts with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And every single topic we get into, the constant is you. The constant is you. You the entrepreneur, you the business owner, you the one making moves, you the master your fate, captain of your soul. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to master your time. You know, when you and you're right, when you in a position where your time is slipping away, you start losing control of things, and you don't have a charted out pathway to get to your goals, and it takes longer and longer to get to your goals. When you're on top of your time, top of yourself, taking care of yourself, so you can even be on top of your time. You know, I used to run track. I ran track from middle school through college. I coached as well, so I was very entrenched in the track world. Way better coach than I was an athlete, you know what I'm saying? But love track. But time, very important in track, you know? So everybody looks at time like, let's say like a Usain Bolt, what the world record is like 9.5, no, 5.8, something like that, right? Don't quote me on that. But that little less than 10-second period of time, how much time did he take to wake up in the morning, eat the right thing, do the right things, to get his mind right, to go to practice, to get his body right, to take care of his body, to go to practice the next day and the next day, and then repeat over and over, that consistency over and over and over again. It all starts up here. You know what I'm saying? If you're in that mindset, if you're not going to be consistent with yourself, to eat the right foods, to take care of yourself, to have enough energy to do what you have to do, it's going to be real easy to fall off. You know, when you fall off, now you're not as competitive. You're looking for competitive advantages. Now you're engaged in this competition. You're looking outside yourself, you know, because you're trying to find that shortcut, you know, and you find something else outside yourself to blame, to drag down with you. Like, I'm losing business because this person is doing this, so I need to buy this thing to compete with them. But all the time, you just need to take a step back. Yeah, take a step back, lock on what you got to do. And it is good, though, because, like, in any business plan, right, with a business plan, it's a breakdown of what your business is, what you plan to do, what you sell, who you are, what your business stands for. But a big piece of it is competition, too. We're going to ask, what are your competitors doing? What's gonna set you out to be different from everybody else? And that question right there, right, as far as that. So you can actually look on my page, at First Step _ Legal. I have 7 steps to an effective business plan. You leave your email in the comments, I'm gonna send you that little packet. But within that, it's going to ask you what makes your business different from everybody else, you know, something to that effect. And it's that one question where nobody's answer is going to be the same. And that's where you really got to focus on. You know, you can be competitive, right? And there might be people who don't choose you because they don't align with your movement and what you offer, what you got going on, but that's fine. But there's going to be a whole host of people who do choose you because what you have is authentic. Yeah. And it's going to relate to them. It's a service that they need. It's a product that they need. It's a story that they can follow and relate to, you know. And but once you in that competition mindset, you can't get there. You can't get there, and you can't even develop the uniqueness within yourself. Yeah. You can't even do it. Can't even get to the good part.
Yeah, 100%. And just to drop one more thing as far as being an entrepreneur and why I love to map out my time for the week, because I did this so many years, man. It's like you wake up and you think you're doing something, like you're busy. You're busy every day. Like I'm always working. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. End of the week is like, okay, I've been working. Yeah. I've been busy. Yeah. But like, where am I going? Like, what is my time really be spent on? Like, what am I really doing? Yeah. That's facts. For real. Like, that's I'm doing a lot of like busy work that means nothing to the actual company. Like, you know what I mean? So I always try to make sure, okay, what's the steps that's gonna help us build a relationship that's gonna produce income for the company. I need to make sure I'm spending my time and going to these networking events. You know, I had somebody ask me, yo, you know, I know you said your networking plan, the way that you build and all that stuff takes about 2 to 3 months to start getting clients. Yeah. But I want to get clients right now. Yeah. Is there anything that I could do? I was like, okay, well, let's look at what we said. How many networking events have you been to in the last 3 weeks? Oh, I haven't been to none. Okay. All right, cool. How many social media or Google My Business posts have you done that relates to the people you want to work to? Yeah. Oh, one. 1 in 3 weeks? That's come on. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, today I post a piece of video that was related to my industry or people that I want to appeal to. What did I get? A DM. There it is. Just today, just by posting on Instagram.
Yeah. How much it cost you to drop that post?
$0.
Oh, wow.
$0.
How much it cost you to download Instagram?
Free.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's great. But it made you money.
It made me some money.
As well.
You know what I mean? So it's like little things like that. Like, bro, what am I spending my time on? I'm doing all this other stuff. I need to be posting. I need to be on my Google My Business page. And Google My Business, just so you guys know, is like it's just like Instagram. It's a social media profile. So by getting reviews, like how you could get reviews on your Facebook fan page, you could get reviews on your Google My Business. Oh, wow. You could post pictures and those same posts that you're doing on your Instagram and your social media on your Google My Business. Okay. People are on Google when they're searching for a certain service or product. Yeah. So that allows you to be more findable and easy. You know what I mean? That's what you want. Strategy. Right? Yeah. So I mean, I just wanted to drop that in there because I'm like, I used to be so busy and I'm like, end of the day, I'm like, what did I really just do today? You know, I know you talked about it. You mentioned it once before where you said you actually write down what you did at the end of the day.
Yeah, so that's huge. So I have a huge desk calendar, right? So for each day, even throughout the days, I'll write, okay, I have a hearing this day, I got a meeting this day, just spotting what I can. But throughout the day, as I'm completing tasks, I'm writing it down, just seeing just tracking my time as well. So I have software that does track my time too, but I just like to write those things down and see what did I actually tangibly accomplished today, right? Some days longer than others because some tasks take longer than others, you know, but just having that helps to keep you more accountable as well, because sometimes you'll plan for the next day or the next week and you'll write those things down, but you didn't finish checking those things off. So you know you have to readjust your week, readjust your day, even wake up earlier, work a little bit later, wherever it is, to hold yourself accountable to that business at the end of the day. But I do want to talk about something that's hugely important, because end of the day, I keep saying end of the day, but what's hugely important in the business, the lifeblood of that business, is money, right? If you don't have money coming in, no matter what you're doing, the business is not going to be successful, bottom line. Management of money is very congruent to management of time. So the number one problem for entrepreneurs is money. How I'm going to get money to start this business, how I'm going to get money to keep going with this business. I need money to do this thing and X, Y, and Z, boom, boom. I need money to hire this person, whatever, it's money. Capital is the number one problem. But the money that you do have, you have to master that too. You know, a lot of times I talk to business owners, I gross X amount. I don't care how much you gross. You can legitimately, I'm not even playing with you, can gross $10.5 million. But your expenses, well, gross, what is gross? Let's break down these words. Gross means how much money you have coming in before you done paid everybody and everything. Just simply how much you got coming in gross, right? Let's say somebody grossed $10.5 million, but their expenses are $10.495 million. That means the net. So gross is everything coming in, expenses. So net is gross minus your expenses. That's your net. And then you net $5,000. But you pulled in $10.5 million. But you only leaving home with $5,000 at the end of the day. You didn't manage your money correctly. And I promise you there's a correlation between that and how you manage your time. Because if you're not managing your time correctly, you're going to have to spend more money. So now you're late for this, you have to book this ticket, you have to do this thing. You have to pay money to file this and expedite it. You got to do, all these different things to cover your tracks on the timing part. So once you master your time, you can really start mastering your money. Yeah. You're not just living day to day, because you know what time you're going to eat. Yeah. You know what you're going to eat. Yeah. So now you can't just go off and run and get I don't eat McDonald's, but not to put them down or anything. Don't sue us. But I think meals at McDonald's are like $14, $15 for a meal.
Yes, it is. Word. For McDonald's, yeah.
Dang. I grew up, it was like $3.99. Yes. Get you everything that you need, but man, it's crazy. But if you're in a situation where you could have planned to master your time, you went shopping on Saturday, meal prep on Sunday, it's done. Yeah. But now you got, I got to eat. I ain't meal prep. I ain't nothing too much time to go shopping. I'm going to go to the fast food spot. You go to the fast food spot, you don't spend a bunch of money. Yeah. You don't spend a bunch of money, now you feel lethargic because it's not food that you're supposed to be eating. Yeah. Now you don't want to get up and run in the morning. Now you don't get up and run in the morning, you don't feel good about next meeting. Now you lose that client. Yeah. Now it just is a trickle effect.
It's happened. It's happened. I've been in situations where I woke up, I didn't have that right energy when I was in the meeting. Yeah. And I feel like that's the reason why I didn't close the project, close the deal. Yeah, and that's real. End of the day, things come down to energy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not giving that energy in that room, you can have the best product. You can have the best service. You can have the best company. But if people not feeling that energy from what you got going on, then it is what it is. But even with that, nobody perfect. So you got to give yourself some leeway with that. But that's why you need those partnerships. While you was talking about mastering your money, what did I just think of as for me? Yeah. Okay, I need to go ahead and call my accountant. Yeah. But accountant just does one thing. They do bookkeeping and they file them taxes at the end of the year. Yeah. So now I need to have somebody, because for the past 4 or 5 years, that's what we've been doing. Yeah. Bookkeeping, but I'm in the weeds. I'm getting things done. I'm making So now when you started talking about mastering your money, the first thing that popped in my head, it was like my financial advisor's name. And I'm like, okay, I need to get with him.
Yeah.
So that way we could build a strategy based off of everything we're coming in, everything that's going out. Because the bookkeeper, they're just going to have like, okay, now we got the accountant. That's the first step in mastering the money, okay? It's accounted for.
Yeah.
I can see what's coming in, I can see what's going out.
Yeah.
But now it's like, how can we optimize this? I could rely on myself and be like, hey, I could just optimize this, but I know I'm busy working on the business and in the business. Yeah. Right? So I need somebody that I could partner with. Yeah. I need to bring in a strategic partner. I need to bring in a financial advisor that could then be someone that helps me optimize and master the money side of it. Yeah. But the time stuff, that's on me. I can't. There's nothing. There's nobody I can hire to do. I got to do that. Yeah. But like when you was talking about the money, mastering the money, man, that's the first very thing that I thought of. And I'm gonna give him a call too. Be like, man, let's get it together.
Yeah, that money is important, and you made a huge point too. In the sense of like, if you don't know how to do it, please go ask somebody. You know what I'm saying? But I guess what I can give, and again, as an attorney, this is not legal advice. You got to follow it. Whole disclaimer. But when you talk about financial planning for yourself and for your business, the first thing I advise you to do is tax planning. So whatever company you have, let's say you have a C Corp, you go ahead and look up the corresponding C Corp documents that you're going to file at the end of the year. And it'll show you, like, these are deductions that you can do, and you can do some more research. What more can I deduct from my business? All right, so these are things people use in their regular business, in their partnership, in their LLC, in their S Corp, C Corp, I already said that, whatever business structure you have. You can look at those deductions like, okay, we need marketing. We need a lawyer. We need an accountant. We need advertising. We need travel expenses. We need employees. We need executive compensation. We need equipment, we need assets, we need whatever it is, and you put down what you budget for it. This is how much we gross, right? And this is what percentage we should put at each thing from there. Then from there, you go to an individual level. I'm expected to take home X amount of money from here. What are my expenses? What am I this one? Break all those things down, put it out in front of you. And the way I see it, like your mind is infinite. You know what I'm saying? We're a reflection like the universe is infinite. We could think about a thought forever and make a million stories from it forever. But until you pull it out of your mind and put it on paper, put it into fruition, now it becomes finite. You know what I'm saying? Now it's tangible. It's a real thing. And now it's actionable, as RJ likes to say. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's actionable. You could put some action behind it and really make a move on it. Yeah. You know, don't keep those things in your head. And if you have issues, not issues, but if you have you haven't developed that skill to do it, then find somebody whose job is that skill. Yeah. And they just do that very free, not for free, but freely. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? In the same breath, like you have a legal issue, call me up. I just do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I have a tax accounting issue, I'm gonna call up my people. Yeah. If I have an advertising issue, I'm gonna hit up my people, RJ. Yeah. If I have whatever, I hit up the corresponding person at the end of the day. But you definitely do tax planning, definitely do financial planning, so you can see where you're at, master your time, and get on that. And those are those core things that you need, but it's going to be hard to get to that when you focus on somebody else and what they got going on, trying to be in competition mindset with them. You know what I'm saying? I would ask you, though, so we talk about all the negative spaces where there's some positive spaces with competition and being competitive, things along those lines. What are you doing, or what have you done, or what you plan on doing? Any one of those questions, to change the competition environment, the negatives that we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly what we're doing. Exactly what we're doing right now. Building those partnerships. Building those partnerships. Yeah, they can know about it, but then it's a level of like, okay, do I like this? The last step is like trust. Trust take time. Yeah. Trust take years to build. Yeah. It could be ruined in a few minutes. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So that's the main thing. We're building that trust. We're doing the work. We have those weekly workshops. We have those weekly masterminds. You know, we have those monthly workshops for other photographers and creatives to come here, and we could bring different speakers, lawyers, and stuff like that to get that advice and be able to collaborate and communicate with the group and to eventually start working with us. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So those are some of the things that we're doing right right now. Yeah. But I mean, like, as far as like to like change the whole competitive vibe, the reason why we're doing these workshops and the reason why we're very big on the curriculum. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the curriculum. Yeah. They say you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Yeah. So leave the old dogs alone. Let's get the new dogs. You know what I mean? The future. Yeah. You know, so that's one of the things that I've been doing. Like my niece, she's 10. I'm already teaching her, you know, video production and creative. You know what I mean? My little cousin, he's like, you know, 13. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. He's getting into photography, teaching him photography. You feel what I'm saying? I met my business partner when he was 15. Oh, yeah. He didn't become my business partner till like 3-4 years later. Yeah, yeah. I would have never thought. I would have, you know what I mean? But like starting from because the thing is they're gonna change everything. Mm-hmm. The only thing you could do is provide a great platform, like how you're saying, good soil. Yeah. Because like at the end of the day, they're the leaders. I mean, we're the leaders in the sense of like, okay, we're helping. Yeah. But in the reality of it, the only way to change the future is to invest in the future. And the future is the people that's coming right behind you. That's right. The youth, the young people. And don't limit them. A lot of times they say, hey, she's 10 years old. She can't do this. She could dream, right? Mm-hmm. And I like how you said you could dream. It's infinite. Yeah, your thoughts and visions, that's infinite. Mm-hmm. Now, when you write that down, it's finite. Yeah. I like that. I'm still in that. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell my niece that.
Take it. I'm not gatekeeping that information. Go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. Take it.
I'm adding that to my whole setup, especially when I'm bringing in new people. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be my new. I'm gonna add that in the slide. You're gonna see that in the slide when I'm educating. It's like, bro, it's like, I don't care if you 10, I don't care if you 12, I don't care if you 18. I'm not gonna limit you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm gonna allow you to grow, and then the first step is like taking your vision and writing that thing down. Yeah. That's like what you said, bro. Is like so powerful, bro, and it's like it's a real thing because it's the way you said it is just the same way that my mom said it. Write your vision and make it plain. Yeah. Yeah. But you just broke it down in a way where it's like, your thoughts is infinite.
Yeah, you get lost. You can live there. Yes. I know so many people. I think like the CIA broke it down. Like the most angriest people on the planet are smart people with no money. The most angriest people on the planet because they live up. It's so much activity up here, but the no money really symbolizes or represents the inability to take what's up here and put it out into the world, and they frustrated, they mad, and like that's a lot of people. You know, you have these ideas, you have these visions, these things, but you don't know how to put it into fruition. And it's a skill, it's a practice. You know, and the first step, I be talking about steps all the time. The first step in that is just write it down, because now you could write it down, you could break it down to different little goals, steps, and just climb up the ladder from there. And it becomes that practice. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger. You know, and one thing I wanted to connect with you on as well. Shout out to the pandemic a little while ago. That's how we connected, because you know that's how we connected. We connected at an event where I was on a panel, and you're doing some photography for that event, and then we stayed in communication afterwards, and then we were planning with another attorney to shout out Roger Notario of Apollo's Counsel to do an event with your creatives, and we're supposed to come in and talk. But the day that was supposed to happen, COVID shut everything down. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to relate that back to changing the competition mindset. I'm helping change the competition mindset in our community, in our environments, in our industries by creating communities, creating actual communities. Because we're seeing what you're doing with your community. We wanted to add value to that as well. And you're a part of a couple of them. When I see people with common interests, what do? I start a chat. Yeah. I don't know how many chats I got on my phone. I got chats for investment. I got chats to connect. I got chats for golf. I don't even play golf yet. You're going to bring me out there one day. Sir. You know what I'm saying? I got chats for organizations, chats for charitable work, whatever it is. If I see a group of people who have the same common interests, I just connect them. And then a philosophy of mine is good people know good people. Because we be talking and things and we realize, oh snap, we know the same person. I be going to events and things. I bump into you, bump into me, like, oh wow, you know, because good people know good people, and it's good to bring in that community, same like-minded people, because we really need to kill this competition mindset within ourselves and within our community, because we're not going to grow and advance and change and grow as entrepreneurs, as people, as a culture, as a community, until we get rid of that and really get back into ourselves and develop that. You know what I'm saying? And let's get back to that me versus me.
So that solution, the formula, right? The solution is building our own communities, creating those communities, fostering those relationships.
Yeah, big facts.
And bringing it the way that you want it, because like you know, we spoke about an experience with that wasn't that good.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, I make sure the community ain't gonna be like that going forward.
Yeah, and
then I met another mentor that was a great experience.
Yeah.
Everything he's doing,
yeah,
that's what this community got to be doing.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like that's to answer the question, or that's the answer we came up with through this conversation, is developing those communication, putting those like-minded people in a group chat, or in a room.
Yeah,
I like to put them in a room.
Yeah.
Or in a group chat. Yeah. They both work.
Yeah.
You put that like-minded people in a room. That's where it starts.
Yeah.
Meeting with people. Putting them all in the room, building that community. I feel like that's the answer right there.
And I love it because like when those things happen, a lot of times I think the largest one of them probably like 30 plus people, just a connective group of South Florida. And when those things happen, sometimes there's different outgrowths of that. So I put a group together of 30 plus people, and then within those groups, they made their own groups and started to branch off from there, which affects more people. You know, so there's definitely a ripple effect of putting in that type of energy, so that way the experience that you had, the experience that I had, and the experience that I contributed to by being negative in that competition mindset, I can break those things off and engage with a community where that isn't welcomed. You know what I'm saying? And continue to grow from there. So,
100%, man. I like this me versus me, man. That's really what it is. The man in the mirror.
Yeah.
100%,
that's it, man. Well, yeah, man, that's the formula for today. Competition. Get out of the competition mindset, but remain competitive. Always focus on yourself and what you got to do. Don't have your focus out on other people and what they got going on. Don't be reactive. Start being constructive within yourself and apply that formula. Remember, the constant is you.
100%. The formula. Yup.